Hello and welcome. In this first proper part of our coaching today, we're gonna focus on the T-side utility on Mirage. And I'm using T-Crate 64, which is used for matchmaking for those normal competitive matches. And that's why you might see some differences in your jump throws. If something will be not working for you, just change it to the 64. And of course, if you are looking for more advanced throws, something that is used on Faceit or other premium leagues, I would suggest watching intermediate or pro level guides for the Mirage as well. So let's start with the furthest away side and the left side of the map from the palace, what utility you can use here as a T side. I would start with a simple molly to molly the underwood, so you don't need to really check it. So first of all, you go to the second pillar, as you can see, make sure the palace is clear, of course, be exactly in the middle, take your molly, as you can see I can do that with only one key. And then look at the top part of the wall, exactly like I'm aiming, run forward and throw it at the exact timing. So something like that should work perfectly. As you can see, I'm able to molly it while running, so you can do that pretty fast, as you can see. But of course, sometimes it might happen that they will simply smoke you off, right? It's very common that there will be some smoke and you don't really know where to aim. So even if you don't want to run, for example, of course you could still do that, but it would generate noise or whatever, but you cannot simply look at it from here. This is what I meant by that. So to do this different throw, I would put myself like that into this corner, and you look at the bottom of this darker square right here, right? So let's get into the corner. You look at the bottom left corner of it, exactly like that. You come right here, and as you can see, I'm aligning myself with the gap right there. So if I'm gonna throw right here, the molly is gonna bounce down, and even if there would be a smoke right here, the molly would still land perfectly. So this is a little way of you remembering where exactly to aim. So one more time, just to showcase that. I'm simply going to the corner. I can do that while shifting, so I'm not generating any noise, and I'm still able to do my job quite nicely. So you have two ways of mollying that. This is a nice way of helping your team. Of course, any flashes or whatever from here are also quite nice. Just remember to tell this your teammates before they are picking or whatever. But you can still, do some nice flashes from here, and maybe just to end up this very small and narrow area, I can showcase you one smoke that is pretty nice. You're going to this crack on the third pillar. Crouch right here, and you will see the scratch on the wall, the horizontal one. So basically you're going to the left side of it, and you aim a little bit below it. So that way, if you throw it right now, it's gonna bounce a couple of times. Oh, and didn't work correctly this time, so let me just redo it one more time. Aim a slightly lower than I'm aimed, so that way it will not bounce that much. But basically what I wanted to showcase right now is that you want to have the smoke on top of the wood, so aim lower than I did the very first time. You will see there's a small gap, so you might catch someone off guard, or you can just generate more space for yourself. You can flash through it, jump through it, or go to the lower wood, or whatever you want to do from here. So just a slight smoke that you can use. I wouldn't really use it that much, but it's still a nice idea, of course. So this is a palace, just a few utilities that I think people should know if you are from here. So right now, A side from ramp, I think 3 smokes that everyone should know, the bread and butter for CSGO players, the smoke for the city side, the block of tickets, the smoke for jungle to smoke many different areas, and smoke for the stairs to block off the stairs guy. So with this kind of utility, you will be able to execute to the side without worrying about anything else, and of course, you can help yourself with other kinds of utility that I'm gonna showcase in a second. So first of all, let's go through those 3 smokes, which are quite nice. And in my opinion, the most beneficial one is the jungle smoke, because it blocks off the sniper nest, the connector area, the short area, many different places. So that's why it's so beneficial for you. So go between those 2 windows, let's say, in the middle of them, and aim behind you, as you can see on the left side of this pillar right here. So exactly like I'm aiming right now, throw the smoke, it will bounce a couple of times, and it will land exactly in the middle, and it's a great way of entering the site, as you can see. You can do a little combo from here, even as a beginner. It's a really nice thing you can do. So throw this smoke normally, go to the corner right here on this wall, aim at this black dot, the only one that you can see on the texture, and throw your molly. That will, molly the sandwich, so no one can be here, no one can see you through the smoke, and you can end this little combo by jumping down, going to the middle of the doors, and throwing a smoke above the lamp. That way you will create a nice pop flash for your teammates. Even if someone is really close to ramp watching like I'm aiming right now, he will still get fully blinded, as you can see. So it's a really cool combo. Anyone can do it, no matter if you just started or if you're a pro. It will be very beneficial for you. And as you can see, I use many different kinds of utilities for that. So this is a jungle smoke, which you can use in combo. The second smoke, probably the easiest one, would be the smoke for the stairs. So you're jumping on the first step right here, exactly like I'm aiming right here, and you aim between this part of the sky, right? So you're aiming in the middle of it. Simply throw your smoke. Doesn't require any jumpers or whatever, and you have your smoke for the stairs. If there is only one smoke in your execute, you're the only guy, don't smoke stairs because it's not as beneficial as jungle. And right now I'm also gonna showcase city side. It's also nice to smoke it, of course. Middle of the doors for this specific tick rate. Aim at the corner of this little building, exactly like I'm aiming, and jump throw. You will need to have this bind for this specific smoke, but it's very beneficial for you. Of course, you're gonna block the sniper, and it's very important that it also blocks the guys jumping on this box right here. So even if I would like to surprise you, I really cannot do that. The only way would be jumping on the very top of the ticket box. And of course, there are some mollies for that, maybe for a little bit more advanced level, but still, it's a nice beginning tactic. Okay, so we already have 3 smokes, some mollies as you could already see, and some flash. By the way, if you are flashing like that, above the ramp right here, also don't forget to flash one more time a little bit deeper, because this first flash won't really affect people that are standing close to the ticket box because it's so far away. So if you are throwing the second flash, it will be a little bit closer to the guy and he will get blinded a little bit more. So it's a good little combo to throw 2 flashes, of course, and why not throwing all of this utility, right? So you have smoke for the jungle, molly for the sandwich, and 2 flashes above for the different players. So this is a little combo that I think everyone can do. And if you're already entering the site, I can recommend 2 simple mollies, again, that everyone can use. First of all would be a simple molly behind your jungle smoke, so no one can push through it, which is a very common tactic. And second molly that you could probably use is this molly from the sign right here. So run, throw, and you will have a nice molly for people that are very commonly hiding under wood. You don't need to check it, they will run forward or go through the ladder, you will hear that, and you can then very easily fight versus them. They will be low HP. So it's a nice cool combo. And yeah, this is very briefly, very fast showcase of the entire A site. This is basically the fundamental utility that everyone should be using. So right now, let's get into the meat. So on the mid, I think the most commonly used smoke is from the top of this bin right here. You're jumping on top of it and aiming at the top right side of this antenna. So simply throw it like that and you will create a nice smoke for top mid right here. It will block off any vision from the sniper nest and from the connector. As you can see, you can pretty safely cross all the way to those boxes, and it's a nice addition to any utility that you're throwing on mid. On the higher level, it might be countered pretty easily by guys, for example, going under it or many different other tactics, but still, it's a good beginner level smoke to block off the snipers, especially in the window itself. The more advanced thing that even beginners can be doing is the window smoke. It requires you to use the jump throw, but you can still do that pretty reliably. And I would say the easiest, most reliable way of doing that is crouching next to this bin, looking on the right bottom side of those doors, and going forward until your cursor is on the pink part of the wall. So we are going like that, crouching, and then jump throwing as you hit the pink part. So then the smoke will go all the way. It will bounce into the window, and I'm failing today like crazy, but that's not a problem. That's why we are here to practice that. I'm pretty much never throwing those smokes for 64 tick rate. That's why you might see some fails right here, but as you can see, you just go a little bit further, don't be so fast like me, and then you'll hit it perfectly every single time. If you want something else, for example, you want to show more style points, simply go to this bin one more time, aim exactly like I'm aiming between this wooden post and side of the wall, go to the left until your cursor hits the these bars right here, and then jump throw. So do something like that. Looks more stylish for sure, but it gives you the same effect as you can see. And this is the way how I was doing that while playing matchmaking. That's why I'm able to hit that pretty much every single time. But I would say that first idea is a little bit easier. So with those two smokes, you will have smoke for the window most commonly, maybe for top mid. And from here, of course, any flashes will be good to enter mid. Preferably something like that. If you're entering, this will blind people even in window pretty nicely. It will cover this huge part of the mid, so then you can pick it pretty easily and you can get yourself out to those boxes. By the way, one more flash that you can use is from here if you want to specifically blind the guy that is in connector. Most of the time, you are aiming your flash like that, it will bounce and just pop under connector. So anyone who's looking at this corner will get blinded, and it's a pretty easy way to get yourself out to those boxes. So if you are behind the boxes, for beginners, I would advise really only one smoke. So the smoke for the window one more time, because it's the most important area. So you're facing behind this wheel in the middle of this antenna, and you can pretty easily do a simple throw to the window. Something like that should work perfectly, as you can see. There's a huge leeway, you can really do it faster or later, and you will have a nice smoke for the window area. So this is the first thing. And maybe to give you again some nice things that you can advance upon, a little flash for your teammates. If you're playing with anyone, with your team or whatever, you can get stuck in this general position and aim exactly like I'm aiming right now on the right side of this triangle. If you put a flash like that for your teammate, you'll have a really simple but effective flash for anyone in connector. Even if someone is watching under, for example, like the very commonly city side player do, as you can see, they get fully blinded. So if you throw something like that for your teammates, they will be in heaven. So that's a really good thing. And yeah, I would say this is really everything you need for mid at the beginner level, something that we want to start at. People are probably not gonna throw a lot of util. If you're gonna see some smokes, they are probably gonna be missed or they are gonna be thrown randomly. So if you can support your teammates with only the smoke to the window and always be sure that it's smoked, it will be a huge benefit for the entire team. So this is mid right now, and let's also move to the under right now. So going to the mid from the different side of the map, and here I want to showcase two parts of the utility. First of all, a cool flash that you can use. So anytime you're going into the under, simply go with the right click throw, something like that should work wonders. Turn away from it and you can pretty easily pick with it. Of course, people are not really gonna expect that if they are just rushing. They will be already looking at stairs, they get blinded by that, and pretty much you're winning the fight just because of it. So it's a very cool simple thing that you want to do pretty much any single time. And of course, once you enter the underground a little bit deeper, you want to get to this general area, I would say smoking window again one more time will be very beneficial for you. So a way to achieve that would be to get stuck exactly like I am right now, and then you aim at the top part, the left top part of this window, and simply throw your smoke like that. So this will bounce a couple of times. It's pretty much on the edge on the left side. It's not really that perfect, but it's very hard to find any gaps in it, as you can see. So it might look like there might be a gap or one-way smoke, but I checked it a few times and I still couldn't find anything useful. So I think it's a decent smoke that you can throw from the under, instead of just going very closely like a lot of pro players will do, looking at this lamp and throwing it like that. Of course, you will throw that, it will be in the middle, but you are more exposed and people are rushing like crazy on those lower ranks. So I would say the safer one will be a little bit better for you. So this is two parts of the utility for underground, and of course we are gonna talk a little bit about the B side as well. So from the B side, I would say first of all, everyone should learn two flashes if they are entering. They are really effective, really cool, and of course you know, people will know flashes above, people will know to kind of flash the side normally or whatever, but I would say that little combo that you will be doing will be a little bit more effective. So right now you're aligning yourself, this wall right here, with this little scratch on the wall, right? There is like an end of the texture right here, don't know why, but it is what it is. So we are aligning ourselves like that. We are pulling the flash, aiming at the top part of the wall, running and throwing. So you can do that pretty much while rushing B with your teammates, even on the pistol rounds. And as you can see, flash goes straight through the window. You can take the second one, bounce it off the second window, and you have like a little nice combo that you can do while rushing, which is a really beneficial thing, of course, right? So while everyone throws flashes above, you'll be the school guy that comes here and it's flashing like that. So then you can all entry pretty easily, jump out of the window, kill the guy on the shore that is surely blinded by those two flashes, and then you entry the site pretty easily. One cool little utility that you can throw before going into the site itself, I would say, is smoking market, because most of the time your teammates are gonna be pretty slow, they're not gonna entry efficiently, and that will mean that rotation will come pretty fast. So you want to deny that, come into this corner if you're going B slowly, and aim at the top part of this building right here. Jump throw, and you will find yourself with a nice smoke towards the market. You don't really need to throw it differently on a different tick rate. As you can see, it will not land like perfectly, maybe deeply into the market, but still this is basically what you want to achieve, to block off the potential snipers or maybe some riflers as well, and entry the site efficiently, right? So this little cool utility is something that you can use for yourself on the T site. 2 flashes, 1 smoke, and of course the very basics. Everyone should know that it doesn't require any lineups. If you're entering right here, just toss a molly right there, so you know no one can be hiding close to this wall with some shotguns or with some Zeus's, maybe some pistols. You just want to deny them all of this opportunity. And again, this is basically the fundamentals, the very basics of the Mirage, and things that everyone should know if they want to grind their ranks up. I would say that mid is the most important area on the entire map. Knowing those window smokes will be very beneficial for you, and you really want to practice them a few times like I did. As you could see, I was not able to hit the first time. No one is probably gonna do it the very first time, and that's why you need to practice quite a bit. So this is a little showcase for you. Practice this at least 2 times, every single thing that I showcase, and then you can move to the city side utility.